Hey, hello. We're here at Ananda Valley Farm, and we have recently received a grant from the California Healthy Soils program. And so part of the program is to do outreach, and so we're going to be doing some video updates and videos about what we're doing and updates as to how it's going along. So what we're doing, our program was to investigate using wood chips in vegetable fields, actual growing fields, to see if we can use it to increase the soil carbon, the organic matter in the soil, and therefore sequestering carbon in the soil, and also increasing the biological life in the soil, and basically just getting better vegetables by doing it. So some of the background, just as to why we chose to propose this and do this program, or do this project, is that we're a small CSA farm going into our 5th year, and when we first started, we were trying to decide, we grow organically, as to what's the best way to keep the health of the soil up. It's crushed granite loam soil here on a slope, so it's got great drainage, but it does mean that anytime you till it, the organic matter gets burned up very fast because there's a lot of oxygen in the soil. So we looked around at different farms. There are some farms like Singing Frogs up in Sebastopol, which we visited twice, and we've got a very nice operation there where they do no-till. And we looked at doing that, but then quickly realized that we'd have to farm all year round in order to keep control of the weeds, and we don't want to do that, so that was out. Or some people use tarps, weed tarps, where they cover the field with plastic. And we tried that, but we're in a very high wind area, and they just kept blowing away no matter how much we tied them down. We actually tied it down one time with earth anchors, and it just ripped the plastic off. And also there's erosion problems with that too. We're in a little valley area here which gets a lot of rain in the wintertime that funnels it, and so having the tarps created a lot of streams and runoff in the farm. So we did do the traditional route, which I guess most the large organic farms use, is they till a lot and then they just put a thin layer of compost on the ground to get the biological life going again, and then use organic fertilizer. I've been to some large farms down in Watsonville, California, and Sebastopol, California, just to look at their fields, and their fields it's actually kind of disappointing because there's actually no life in those fields. They till them so much that you won't find one worm in acres and acres of field, and just because they just till it very much to get rid of all the weeds, and it's very low organic matter too in the soil. So we really didn't want to, continue to do that. And so one of the things, we could buy lots of compost every year, but that's a little expensive, and I just didn't like that. So what we are doing now is we're using wood chips, and we're actually tilling them into the soil. And so what we've done this year is, and I'll walk around a little bit just to show, is for most of the field we put a thin layer of wood chips on, and then in the spring we tilled it all in to get rid of the weeds. And then we just plant in it. And we actually, from our little trials before, that works really well as long as it's a thin layer. And so for the California Healthy Soils program, what we're doing is we're investigating, so how much can we put, how much wood chips can we use as a mulch, and then till it into the soil, and then still get a good crop out of it. So the idea is that in the fall, when we're all done with the field, is what we'll do is we'll just go around and spread a layer of wood chips on the field and just let it sit all winter, and then weeds will grow up, and in the springtime we'll till it all in and then start planting. And so we want to know is how much wood chips we can use without putting wood chips in the soil does tie up the nitrogen, and so it can stop plant growth. We want to know how much we can use and what sort of fertilizer we can use, and so that the fertilizer will overcome the nitrogen tie-up. So initially we've got we're going to be planting, we've got 5 of them planted now, but 7 rows here of broccoli, and in each row we're doing different amounts of wood chips and different fertilizing, different amounts of fertilizer to see what happens. This is just an introductory video, so I won't go into all the details here.